Hello everybody, it's Pam at the Paper Outpost, and today I opened a little drawer I haven't opened in a long time. It's a snippet drawer, and I have a combination of material, snippets, and also like fabric snippets. But I also had these paper snippets, which I really haven't done much with. I've used them occasionally in journals, but I thought maybe we could work on some fun ways and easy ways to amp them up a little bit. So these were made pretty simply. Basically, I just ruffled some paper and ran it through the sewing machine with a zigzag stitch. This is just plain white leftover paper, a whole bunch of it. Just here's some coffee dyed paper. I just sewed papers together, and so I've got these rolls, and let's see, I think there's I think that's a pin to hold it together. Oh, back in the day when I was organized. Now it looks like here I ruffled and then put down a piece of paper and then sewed it. This was with a straight stitch. So got some stuff here to work with. So let's just do some fun and easy ways that you can amp up what you have already. And let's see if I have any. Maybe at the end of this I'll show you how I make one of these, just so if you have never made one, you can easily make one. Okay, and I think I can show you a with and without sewing method to do that. So first, let's just jazz these up. Here's a very basic one. Why don't we start with that one? Okay, so here's just ruffled paper sewn together, acting as a snippet. And so what can you do with a snippet? You can use it as a page trim. You could make it, cut them apart and use them as journal tag toppers. So if you didn't have material or thread, you could just put one of these up there. It's already ruffled. You could do that. You could put it down a spine if you wanted to. And you could, do 101 million decorations with embellishments with them. So let's try this. This is a sanding sponge or a sanding block. And this. So right now the edge is very sharp. Okay, maybe we'll bring this in for an alternative. I thought maybe what we could do is just rough it up a little bit. The idea is to make it look a little bit more vintage, a little bit more worn out, not so perfect on the edges. All right. And you can sand paper. Yes, you can. And I think I've already shown you the trick if your journal pages don't quite fit in your junk journal. Let's say a bunch of them are sticking out of the top. You can come along and sand them so they sit down lower. What I would do is open up your journal, hold your block of paper, your signature page like that, and you get in here and you sand, and it gives it this nice suede-like feeling. And you can also do it on this side, and I won't do it here because I've already placed page tabs, and you can also do it on the bottom. So a little tip there. If your pages aren't exactly even, there are ways around that. All right. So we'll do a section, softening it up a little bit. It does give it that suede-like finish, that suede-like feel, which is kind of cool, just like it does in the signatures. Okay, I'll do this section here. So I hope your day is dandy and you're doing well. All right, there. So I've roughed that up a little. Let's see, this looks more clean. This is like a little rumplier. Okay. And then what I might like to do is take some brown ink of any color will do. And I'm going to get my brown dauber, down Tusty Dauber. Give it an old rub-a-dub and just kind of ink the edges of this. And that's going to make it really pop. And when you sand the sides of paper, it makes it very feathery and porous, and it grabs the ink really easily. If you use Distress Oxide ink, it grabs it even more easily because there's just more to play with in oxide ink, I think. I prefer it over the regular, but I have a ton of both, so I'm just going to use what I got for everything. Okay, so let's say we had this now. Now we've got something that looks like that, as opposed to just the white strip. And you can use both. Nothing wrong with that, but this just gives an alternative. So that would be, I would say, stage 1. And then if I want to level it up a little bit more, I can actually run my dauber right down this and just knock the whiteness out of it and give it a little bit more color. Okay. So now I've got something that I gotta be careful I don't get this on everything. Where I had a piece of parchment paper to work on here. Yeah, let's see if I can find that paper. So now it's going to look something like that. It takes on a new look to it. And then if you want to level it up even a little bit more, you could bring different colors in. So let's, maybe we'll bring in some yellow and maybe some blue. How about that? Or how about this wild honey color too? Let's see if I've got some daubers that match any of this. I cleaned out my dauber door so it's easy to close. I'm very happy about that. Had to make some tough decisions in life. Which daubers to keep, which ones to retire. Let's go with, I'm going to go from darkest to lightest. So I'm going to try the blue next. Here's my blue dauber. All right. And you can do the edges. You can run it down the center again, however you want to do it. Let me go spread that a little bit. That's just regular water I spritzed on there. And there we go. Gives it a nice multi-dimensional, multi-color kind of look to it. I like that. I think that's really pretty. And you can come and do sections if you want. Okay, like that. And then you can come in with another color, like maybe this wild honey. Whoa, look at that, right? Yeah. Okay. Trying to find a dauber that's going to be... Oh, here's something. It looks yellowy. Let's try this. Oh, yeah. There we go. Okay, just every once in a while. And old paper weathers and has little colorations, discolorations, oddities to it. It's picked up stains and smears and smudges from what have you as it went through life. Okay. And I think I'm going to need I'm feeling the need for a baby wipe. So it's actually just a wet wipe, but I guess a wet wipe isn't an adult wipe. I don't know. There's baby wipes and then there's wet wipes. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so we have something like that now, which is really pretty. And then I pulled out a few other things. This was, okay, we're going into the scary zone now. I found, where is it? Oh, here it is. This is icing color in pink. Icing color. What's that say? Wilson. Yeah. All right. Now this stuff is very concentrated. You don't want to be getting this on stuff you don't want to be getting it on. You know what I mean? So be careful. Maybe you want to put gloves on. Maybe you want to wear a hazmat suit. Hang on. I have to close my Q-tip drawer. A little stinker bottom gets in there. Okay. So I think there's enough in there. So now I think I might be able to, can I use it directly? Oh, looks like somebody bled on it. Let me smear it a little bit so it's not so somebody bled on it. But this is very intense color. But let's see, maybe we can do something like this. Put a little bit there, add a little bit of water to it, and make more of a wash as opposed to a flat out dye. So I could literally just roll this across and just give it some pinky color as I'm dragging it through everything. And then blot off. You could blot off if you don't want it so intense. Okay. Let's see how intense it is. Very intense, very concentrated. Concentrated. It's going to last forever. Okay, I think I better clean that up for some reason. I just feel like there's going to be... I hope it doesn't soak through. Okay, we're good. I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to close this up because this is super concentrated. Okay, so if you're looking for that pink icing color, Rosa color Paraglassado Wilson. Okay. Yes. So, and then you can go multicolor, which can look really pretty. Careful, it's not on your fingers, Pam. In your journal. And if you wanted to, whoops, put that on any page, that's going to look really pretty. I want to show you what it looks like. On a pink page, it looks really pretty. On a white page, it looks really pretty. It just looks it looks plumb pretty. Okay. So there we go. We have that. And now, of course, we all know that there are other things you can do. For example, you can take rubber stamps and you can rubber stamp on these, and that would be a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and do that. Should I try gray? This is a hickory smoke, which is gray. So instead of blackity black, we'll try hickory smoke gray, because I rarely use that one, and maybe I should venture off into these other lands of color. So let's try. Hopefully it's going to go work. Usually the first one doesn't go so well, but then after that it's pretty good. So they're very faint. I know you probably can't see, it's too far away. All right. And you could just randomly put these down here. This does not add any bulk, which is kind of fun. Okay. Just subtle. And I think I do want to crank it up a bit. Where's the black? Okay, I'm capitulating to the black. Gotta find it. There it is at the bottom of the stack always. Let's try this now. See if that stands out more. Yeah, I think that's showing up a lot better. All right. So maybe off to the sides, in the middle, random as we go. It's all good. Yeah. All right. So that definitely stands out a lot more. Okay. So now you can take it up another level, because you're just totally committed to having maximum fun. You could also use Rit dye. I pulled that out. Should I try it? Oh, I'm scared. Okay. This is liquid. Now I'm really scared. It's going to get all over the place. Okay. Probably should be. Look how intense that is. Yeah. Rit dye is a great dyeing medium too. You can put that in a spritzer bottle with, like, dilute it with water. This is straight up. Let me back it up a bit. Actually, let me reorient this here. Okay. And so this is just the process of, boy, this is like super dark, right? Yeah. And these are just dots. There's a randomness of the dottedness of it. So I'm just like heavily decorating it just for fun. How far can I take this little piece of paper where it still looks kind of cool and weird and fun? Again, it looks a little bit like bloody dots all over it. It's okay though, because I've decided this is a great resource. I mean, you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck if you use Rit dye for your dyeing purposes. Just make sure you cover your entire universe in plastic, like a shower curtain or something, before you start spraying Rit dye all over the place, because you completely color your house. Okay, so now let's take our good old friend. You know who it is. That's right. Liquid Pearls, Stickles, and Nouveau Drops. Any of these will do. I'm trying to think what I would like to do, because I don't want little bloody red dots on my pretty artwork. So I think I'm going to put a contrasting dot in the center. Maybe this color might be nice. Or white would be too white. I'm just rummaging around in the old drawer here. That would be pretty. Maybe this frosty white or this gold. Let me try them both on different sections and see how it goes. This is Nouveau Drops in bright gold, and this is Liquid Pearl in white opal. Dimensional pearlescent paint. Okay, let's hope it hasn't sealed shut. Okay, I'm gonna try a few little dots here. Oh yeah, this one's working friendly. Working friendly. So I'm just putting some random, wherever those little, I think I did some of the leaves too, but that's okay. So just some to mute it down a little bit, just a little bit. Now let's try the other color. Let's try the gold and see what that looks like. Plus you could commingle them. You can, because it's what we do. We just have fun with our stuff. There's a little less contrast, but still super pretty. And it's more of like a goldy appearance, and this is more like almost what when you mix white and pink. I kind of think of a candy cane or peppermint stick or something like that. So you could definitely tailor these to the holidays if you wanted to use some greens and blues, or maybe you're making a pink journal and you just want to have a little extra bling. So this is just plain old paper turned into something really pretty and really cool. Could you see that going down the spine of a journal on the outside? That would be really pretty. So never let lack of a craft supply stop you. So if you have any of these things, kind of keep your eyes open for them, because you may have fun doing something like that. So let me show you the folding technique, and then we'll make one of these without sewing. Okay, because basically I just folded these up and then ran it through the sewing machine. But I know a lot of people don't sew, and I just want to show you an alternative. So it's pretty easy. Let me just take some strips of paper. They don't even have to be the same size paper. They could just be random. These are just strips I cut off from my shipping labels. And you can go over here now. All right. And what I do is I just take them and I start doing like a little back fold. See that? Like that. Okay. And further, another one. And you can do these like this. You can also feed these into your sewing machine if you're using the sewing machine, but if you're not using the sewing machine, you can still do this technique. It's a pretty easy technique. It's just a fun little trim, just something, you know, you got a bunch of scraps around, you don't know what to do with them. Make yourself a little snippet paper roll, and you can attach them to each other, which is kind of fun. All right, so now the longer paper yields a shorter paper. And now, to get it to stick without the magic of sewing, here's one way to do it. Okay, let's see. Hang on, I gotta find the thing. Hold on. Okay, what you can do is you just take, it could be a piece of paper or a piece of twine or fabric or yarn or something decorative like a lace or a trim, and you run it down the center like that with, first, of course, glued with some Fabrifix glue, which glues fabric to fabric, fabric to paper, and paper to paper. This is my favorite glue. Maybe I'll just use it right out of here. Look at me being bold. I think it's got a smaller schnozzle. Okay, I know. And just run what looks like somewhat of a straight line. Okay, and then affix your chosen string of choice. Like I said, it can be paper or fabric. And that is going to hold down all the little pieces, which is a quickie and easy way to make a nice little, whoops, come back here, ruffle without sewing. So, just trim this off here. I have these cute little scissors. I always forget I have them. Aren't they cute? They're like faux antique scissors. They're just cute. They're just so cute. Okay. Make me feel like a Victorian seamstress. So now we have the basic structure of the snippet in question. And here's the one we decorated, so you can see for comparison purposes. And now really it's just a matter of us decorating it. So I guess with the first one, I did a little bit of sanding of the edges just to, it's almost, you can't really be too rough on these things. They, well, you can, but you can really get in there and sandpaper. Don't be shy. Just get in there and rub a dub. Somebody was asking me about the grit on the sanding sponges. I think you can get ones that have different grit on all sides, or just generic ones, or, you know, there's, I'm sure, firmer grip ones and grit ones, and look, I went right through there. Oh, so cool. Softer grit ones and things like that. Okay, so now we've softened it up. We're going to come in with our beloved brown. All right. Maybe we'll do something a little bit different with this one. Okay. All right. And now the brown again just makes it look a little bit more vintage. And you can come along and add some color. Knocking it down a little bit. Not necessary, but totally an option. And this one had pink. Maybe I'll go with blue as a background color. I think I did put some blue in there, but you know what? It was the colorings that have overtaken that world, so that's why it looks more pink and yellow. But okay, maybe we'll just focus this one being a little bit more blue on the blue tones in life, right? This reminds me of an old map or like a pirate piece, or I don't know, something expedition like almost. Yeah, that's kind of cool. All right, so we got those, and then maybe just a little bit of yellow, and I won't do the pink. How about that? So I was using wild honey, and I had my little dauber. I probably have enough on here. Let's just see what we have. Yeah, I'm gonna try and run it down the center. Just give it a little bit of a central hue. Yeah, there we go. We get something like that. It's kind of cool. So you can see they transform quite quickly. Very, very basic supplies. You could also use raffia. That's another thing. And keeps, yep, that's what happens when you don't wait for your stickles and your Nouveau drops and all that fun stuff to dry. You get that. Okay, but here I have some of this colored twine. That's kind of cool. Maybe we can add this in addition too. Like maybe that would look kind of cool on there. Why not? What the heck, right? It's only paper and a little fabric today. I'm going to back up a little so you can, I'm making you blind. Let's see. So we'll make like little train tracks. Going for a different style. Okay. And mine's got a little bit of a curve in it, but you can make these so they're perfectly straight too. It's just my inefficient crafting today. Where'd my pretty little scissors go? Start moving everything, and maybe there they are under my inks. Well, let's not wait. Let's just go ahead and put this down because the glue waits for no one. There we go. All right, and then we can always snip these off at the edges. Oh, there we go. Reorient that little guy and get him on there. Now let's say maybe you don't want to use stickles or something this time. Maybe you want to do something different, like maybe buttons. Okay, so I got a handful of little buttons. I'll put them down here. Maybe I want to glue them. I could glue them anywhere, but maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to not get anything out of there because that's closed. I'm going to put some places to put buttons. Maybe not, I'm going to follow pattern. Center, side, 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 side. Okay, so let's see if I can stay focused here. Okay. I have to remember where I put the glue. That's the biggest quandary. One. You could do blue buttons or shell buttons. Those are kind of cool. White little shell buttons. One in the middle. That could be like a little gold button or something if you wanted. Something pretty. Here's a little blue button for your side. A little white button for you. And what do we got here? A little... maybe oh, no, I still got to do side ones. Well, let's just do these. There. Oh, that's kind of cool. And you can put as many or as few as you want. You can encrust the whole thing or just sparsely do it. It's all good. Okay, that's fine. Oh, yeah. Two. Did I do that right? I don't know. I'm not sure where I put the glue. I can't really see it. I don't have my glasses on. Let's put these guys down here, and I think we need a couple more. Yeah, and you can put different sizes. They don't have to follow any rhyme or reason. Okay. So now I have something that looks like this. Okay, so now that me. Oh, okay, that's a thread. That's okay. Like if you wanted to put that here, you could put that here, or you, whoops, come back here. Oh, I lost a button. Not the glue hasn't dried yet, but you could put that at the top of the page. You could make this a pocket. You could even make it a side tab if you wanted. So there's lots of different uses for those little guys, but very fun. So let's see. Okay, so if you do want to see me sew one, I'll try and show you without moving too many million things here what that looks like. And if I accidentally click off, I'm sorry. It means I accidentally clicked off because I have to move my camera and my sewing machine, and I might mess it up. Okay, let me move these so they can dry. Okay, over here. Okay, there. I feel better about that already. Okay, move that over here. I'll bring my sewing machine over here in the field of view, and let me reorient you. Hold on. Oh, okay, let me back you up way over there. There we go. Okay, that little area. And I'll get a strip of paper. A couple strips of paper, nothing fancy. Here we go. Gotta turn this little guy on. This is my Brother Project Run Ray limited edition. That's the one I've been using forever, it seems. So I'm just gonna get it. Let me see. There's a way to do. Okay, I'm gonna do this differently. I'm gonna put this, feed it in first, put the little foot ski down. Okay. And now you can take this and fold it up and shove it under the feet. Now you have to be careful not to sew yourself. Okay, don't sew yourself. And use a zigzag stitch. Okay, let's see if I got my ends. And as it's going in, you can just keep like making a few of these. Pretty easy, right? Don't sew yourself. And then when you get there, you can just come along and you could glue it, but you don't have to because you're sewing yourself. So just kind of go like that and keep going. Oh, did I lose it? Nope, I'm still there. Everything's okay. Just keep going. Just fold, 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 like maybe 3. And it's a little fuddly, but it can be done. And there's probably better ways to do this if you know better ways. I mean, I know there's if you sew it and then you pull the string somehow, you can get it to ruffle. I'm not very good at that. I've done it a couple times successfully, and then I sort of forgot how. So that happens. But, so with this little guy, I mean, look how quickly, oh, you can't see a squat. Look how quickly that came together. No, I found my regular scissors. There we go. I was looking for you. So, literally, that's how you do it if you're gonna use the sewing machine. It's that easy. And another thing you could do is, if you had some pretty lace or trim, just basically do this little folding. And I don't really measure it, I just sort of eyeball it. I want it to look a little haphazard as part of the vintage look of this. Okay, and then you could take this pretty strip of trim, you could glue it on there if you wanted to do something like that. So these are just fun little ideas that you can do. And you could rough up the edges and color this and do all that kind of fun stuff. Now sure, I'll do it all over my mat. Why not? Get my fingers in there and get all dirty. All right, there we go. And then get this on here. Okay. Oh, I can't tell what side's up. I think it's this side. Is it? What's that? Is that the right side? Or is that the right side? I think it's this way. But either way, I'm going to put that down there. And that just becomes a very pretty little element that I could use on any page. These things are such simple things to do. And you can sit there and crank out a whole bunch of these at one sitting. Okay, I have nothing to put this on, so I'm just going to show you. You could use that as a page topper. Again, you could do it as a page tab. You could use it as spine art, cover decoration, so many things. So yeah, so these are the little guys that we made today. And then I will get Mr. Snuffles And he will have his moment in the sunshine. Moment in the sunshine with sunshine. That's what I should call it. Okay, hold on. Be right back. I found somebody hanging around the ankles. Hello, everybody. This is Sunshine, Junior Cup Pup Reporter, and I am hovering around the ankles. I'm about ankle height, and I'm about the size of a foot. So if you have well, Mom, your feet are a little big. So I'm a size of Mom's foot in its entirety, from nose to tail. I am foot size, and I'm small. But I'm mighty, and I would like everybody to know that size doesn't matter, it's mightiness. Yes, I can also be demure. Look how demure I am. And then I can be mighty. Yes, I take you on guard. Ha ha. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, maybe that's pushing it a little bit. Maybe I'm more like somber and cute. Yes, this is my somber, cute mood. Mom, you're having a lot of fun with my ears today. Don't do the rabbit, Mom. Not the rabbit. Oh, yeah, the rabbit. I know. I'm sorry. I can't help myself. You are like my little sock puppet lamb chop or something. I think so. So anyway, I know, Sunshine, that you're having a nice snooze while the rest of us are looking for inspiration and motivation. So anything else to snore at us? No, I think I pretty much covered it, unless you want to do the one up, one ear down, just for a big finale. There it is, folks. Ta-da! Okay, that's all I got, Mom. It's a sleepy day. Can you hear me snoring? I'm looking at y'all. Okay, I'm going to sleep now. And I'm gone. Yeah. All right, everybody. Enough of that silliness. Get back up and keep crafting. Mom, not with the ears. No ears. Mom. Okay. Cannot help myself. Okay, everybody. I have Christmas bundles. They are ready. They are full of really cool Christmas items, old and new. There's Christmas postcards, stencils, wrapping paper, Christmas postage stamps. There's so many fun and cool things along. I would say it's very heavily Christmas weighted with a little bit of everyday play fun as well. Well over 100 items, packed to the gills, and it ships free priority mail shipping to you. Limited supply. Grab yours now while they're still available. And if you don't know, I have a free monthly emailed newsletter. If you sign up for that, you're going to get a free digital image emailed to you every month, a checklist of supplies to keep your eyes open, free supplies, 500 of them that you might like to incorporate in your junk journals that maybe you haven't thought of. It's a great resource. Also, a page list of ideas and a note from the bookmaker which explains what a junk journal is and how to use it. And I like to tuck that in the beginning of my junk journal to explain to folks, the recipient, what on earth they just received. Yes. You can change the wording, the font, whatever you like, or use it as is with my blessings. Also, I've decided to add to my Facebook group, the Paper Outpost Facebook group. I do a weekly challenge in there with you guys, and every week there's a new challenge, and it's always posted in the features at the top if you can find that, so you don't have to scroll through the whole thing if you don't want, but you can also look to see what people are posting, to see what they did with the challenge, which is really cool and inspirational because you guys have the best ideas, really. I'm attaching a free digital image to the weekly challenge, so if you're interested in that, I guess there's almost about 4 weeks every month, so you're going to get 4 unique images that you could download and use in your artwork over there if you join us over in the Paper Outpost Facebook group page, which is different than the Paper Outpost Facebook page. So check that out, and there's links and stuff down below, or you can just go to my master link, which is this link. I found the paper finally because I cleaned up. That will take you to all my links if you can type that in, and that's also linked down below on the video. And it'll give you a page of hyperlinks to newsletter, Etsy shop, Amazon shop, merchandise shop, all those social media links, and the Facebook group page. So also, I have an Etsy shop if you like journals and bundles and kits and FUNDLEs. I have those available in there. I also sell DigiKits, which are printable, downloadable images, all sorts of different kinds based on themes for Victorian, birds, butterflies, you name it, mushrooms, celestial, postage stamps, tea time. Yes, and if you don't like to print or don't have a printer, I offer a printing service. So it's called the print and mail option. You just buy the print and mail option and then send me a list of the 10 DigiKit names that you want through Etsy message. I only need the first 2 or 3 words to know which ones you're talking about. And then I will print those out on nice lightweight cardstock. You'll get 50 printed pages total, and free priority mail shipping with that as well. Now, if you come over to my merchandise shop, it's also linked down below. You can check out t-shirts, sweatshirts, zipped hoodies, mugs, totes, or water bottles with cool phrases like create with reckless abandon or everything is a craft supply until proven otherwise. Okay, there's that little guy. Okay, and what else can I tell you? That's pretty much it. So I'm going to let you go. Remember that fun can be simple with just simple things like paper and some buttons and glue and scissors and stuff like that. And create with reckless abandon, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye.